Hello, welcome back to my channel, Mel Stamp and Gallery. I'm Melanie, you're close to my heart maker. And for today's video, I'm actually doing another travel themed layout as I work my way through our France trip. These are some of the pictures that I have from our trip. We went up on top of the highest point in France. It's the highest mountain. It was a church up there called Sacré-Cœur. And the views from up there were just spectacular. So I'm going to be using the Are We There Yet collection from Close to My Heart to help me document these photos. But the fun thing I'm going to do today that's a little different is actually scrap lift myself, but it really isn't a scrap lift. It's more of a do-over. So I have this double page layout that I did way back in 2013 when I used to host scrapbook clubs here at my house, and that's why there aren't any actual photos on here. But as I looked at it, I really liked the elements on the page, but these products of course were from another company and are no longer available, so I wanted to update it and use our products with the Are We There Yet collection from Close to My Heart. So to kind of help me with this whole process, and before I did any actual cutting, I turned to my Cricut design space and I measured all these pieces and I put the layout, created the layout in Cricut design space to kind of help me lay this out. And I see I want my title up here and some embellishments over here on this side. And this layout, the original one, had a little banner over here with a tiny little cluster over here. If you can see that right there. And I thought, well, the cluster needs to be a little bit bigger, and I'll try maybe making the banner a little bit bigger here. And I thought down here would be a good spot for the journaling. And then I have the digital art collection from the Are We There Yet collection, so I just added some of those pieces around here to see how they would look as embellishments. I don't know if I'm going to actually end up using those. I want to try and use up the sticker sheet, but I wanted you to see where I kind of started and how I plan out in my planning process for this. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and then we can go ahead and get started on this. All right, so I'm bringing in my 2 pieces of 12 by 12 white daisy cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and lay out my photos, and from there try to decide what papers I want. So I know I want a 4 by 6 here, and over here I've got the 4 by 6s going that way, and I know I wanted the view of the church going that way as well, and then I needed another 4 by 6 over here. So what I did was I just took the picture of my husband and myself overlooking the view, and the other one of the church, the Sacré-Cœur, going that way. And it's a 4 by 6, but they're really two 3 by 4s together on one 4 by 6 photo paper size. And then I had other photos too that I want to include on that. So I'm going to be using my latest discovery, of course, which is the flip flaps. So I've got these 3 photos that were taken from the same vantage point. So they're going to go here, but in flip flaps. So you put a flip flap here on the top. When you open it up, this one will be on the inside, and then that one will be the main photo on the bottom. And the same thing over here. Let's see, I think I'll move those 2 probably over there like that. Then we've got the Sacré-Cœur, and then the same thing, I'm going to put a flip flap here because then I wanted to show the inside picture that I had, and then a view from behind. When you walk behind the building, that's what you see. So I've got 2 flip flops I'm going to be using on this page to get most of my photos in. Now the next thing I had to decide was what papers I want to use for the background. And I like this one with all the different landmarks on it. It does have the Eiffel Tower, and it does have St. Basil's Cathedral, which kind of looks like the shape of that building, and it also has a Taj Mahal, and they both kind of look like the shape of that building. So I thought, even though it's not that building, I would maybe use that paper. So let's try it out with the photos and see how it looks. Put those on there. And I can already see these photos are, even with the white mat, they're getting kind of lost. And according to my sketch, these photos are going to go here. This one's going to overlap this one a little bit. So they're probably going to be about like that. I haven't cut it yet because I want to make sure this is what I want to use. And then I think I'm going to bring in some of that, the dark blue over here on the side. According to my sketch, I can see I've got this dark blue piece here. So I'm thinking, since these photos are kind of getting lost, and I do like the white border around them, and I do have this sapphire over here, what if I mounted them on the sapphire cardstock with the white on that pattern paper, and then I think that will make them pop off the page very nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and mount all these, and then I will be right back. Now I've gone ahead and I've taken the 3 of the 5 different stamps from the Are We There Yet borders, and I took the zigzag pattern, I took the tickets, and I took the arrows. The arrows match this paper here, and I've mounted them on a long block. And what I'm going to do is stamp them on this melon piece of cardstock, which is longer than the block. So I will have to piece it together. But if I don't get that middle part exactly right, it'll be okay, because there will be an embellishment cluster over it. So I'm lining this up so the bottom arrows are on the bottom of the paper, and I'm just going to press down and hold it down and stamp. And then I like the tone-on-tone color, so I am using the color that is similar to the cardstock. And then we'll lift that up and I'll give it a minute for the ink to soak in, and then I'll move it down here and do the other part. And then now, as you can see, I've got this piece of paper. I've made my own pattern paper. I've left a little bit extra here so that I can slide that. Now, as I was getting ready to adhere down the background pieces, I'm glad I didn't, I remembered I wanted to go ahead and sponge the edges of this pattern paper, because it still wasn't popping off the paper, the white daisy cardstock, the way I wanted it to. So I'm just taking the sapphire and I'm doing a direct to paper technique with my ink pad just along the edge of that pattern paper. And it doesn't look like much when you're holding it up like this, but when I put it down onto the white daisy cardstock, you can really see the difference, and it really makes it pop out. In fact, you can see I've done it here and not here, and you can see how it does pop out from the white daisy cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one, and I've decided to go ahead and stamp right on my layout, and if I don't like it, I can cover it up. So I'm just going to flip over my Versamat to use the spongy side for stamping, and then I will turn this way, and I've decided to go ahead, even though it's like a sunshine, I've decided to do it in the sapphire, and that will bring the sapphire in from the other side. So let's go ahead and see how this looks. And I always hate stamping right on camera because I don't want to make a mistake. But I guess this is real, right? So I've lined that up as good as I can. Push. Don't rock the boat, baby. Remember that song? All right, I'm getting goofy. Lift it up. That looks pretty good. So let's do the other part. If it doesn't get lined up perfect, oh look, it's going to go over. I need to put a piece of paper there. So let me bring in just a piece of copy paper and mask that off. Ink that up again. I guess I could just kind of wipe it off there too, can't I? To make sure I don't have any ink on the end. Okay, let's see if I've got ink all the way, and I do. Line that up and put it against the paper and brush down and stamp. Nice even pressure and lift up. And it's got a little smudge there, but like I said, that's okay because that's going to be where one of the embellishments is going to be. So I think that's good. I like the way that frames that out from the blue over here, and it brings the blue over there, so it kind of bookmarks. Now that I've got my pictures and the background all matted down, I wanted to bring in this travel stencil that I have, and I will get my mat out of the way, but I will bring in the all-purpose mat so I can work on that just in case I make a mess. And I've got my sapphire ink pad and my blending brush, and just going to pick up some ink. I'll probably tap off because I don't want it to be dark. That dark, I can always go back in and add more, of course. So just with very lightly, I go in a circular motion, and I can even pick up some of that ink from the all-purpose mat and just keep going around in a circular motion and fill in. I've got the ink all blended, so are you ready for the big reveal? Let's do this together. Lift that up and see what that looks like. Oh, that looks nice. I like it. What do you think? Thumbs up? Now I like the stenciling down below where it says travel so well. I decided to try up here at the top. They've got this little cityscape. So I thought I'd line up the buildings and try the stenciling up here, but in a very, 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 very light color. So again, I told you I would show you what it looked like when I had it all together, and I went ahead and went across both pages. So we've got that so far. Now the next thing is working on some embellishments. So I've been doing that while I was away, and I made the title out of my Cricut design space. Just typed in the word Sacre-Cœur and use the offset to make the title, and the title goes up here. And then I just took a sticker and a like a tag that I had in my stash and die cut that out. And I'm just kind of building this up here for the title, thinking it's going to go something like that, and that brings some of this papaya color over here. I've started working on a few of the embellishment clusters, so I have a tag punch, and I just cut this out of the I think that's called mist cardstock. It's that greenish, aqua greenish color, and I've got a scallop circle I cut out of got a die from my stash and cut that out. And the same thing here, I've got these two stitched ovals that I built on top of each other, and then stickers from the sticker sheet. I think I'm going to build it up like that, but I never like to leave well enough alone, so I think I'm going to take this tag and I embossed it with some dots. I'm going to take some sandpaper, and the good thing about the Close to My Heart cardstock, when you sand it, it has that white core, so that is revealed. So when I sand the cardstock, that white core is revealed, and it kind of makes those dots pop off the page a little bit more. So I'm going to finish sanding that and work on this embellishment cluster. I finished putting this tag together, and I really like the way that came out with sanding. Put a little ribbon up here and a staple to staple that together. And I did add the little stamped camera here because I had a tore my paper when I was trying to put it down. So I've got it mounted on some foam, and I'm just going to carefully place it over here on this side of the page and put that down like that. Okay, so that's that side of the embellishments, and I have this little sticker up here that I put there, and of course I said the title over here. The next part will be down here in this corner, just a couple of little embellishments. I don't think I'm gonna go. So it's looking pretty good. I think I'm about done. I've got the title, embellishment clusters, a little cluster over here, and I just wanted to add one more little thing. I love these little rubber shapes, the little suitcases. So I thought I would take one and put it over here just to give it some dimension over here as well, and a little yellow suitcase to bring that yellow over here in the corner as well. Just kind of build them up a little bit, and I think that'll do it. Let's see, I have a tiny little green one. Maybe I'll put that one there too. It's cute. Love it. 3 of them. Cute. So I'll just put a date and maybe the name there. I'm going to type up some journaling on my computer and put it down there, but yeah, I think that probably does it for this layout. My husband will be so thrilled that I am getting more of our travel layouts done. So I'll just bring this up so you can see all that really up close. I love how the stenciling turned out up here in this embellishment cluster with the tag, and the stenciling that says travel down here, and then of course we have our title in the sticker from the sticker sheet of the map, and then down here more stickers from the sticker sheet, and those darling little rubber shapes, the little suitcases. Let me go ahead and bring back a sketch. Remember the sketch that I started with in Cricut Design Space? And it looks pretty much similar. The embellishment clusters here, the title up here, and over here. The only thing I didn't do was the banner across the bottom. It was just too much. I really like that little banner. I might use it in something else. But there you have it. That's another page for our travel scrapbook. If you're still with me, thanks so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And if you like what you saw, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video. I will have links to all the products that I used in this video with direct links to purchase. So if you check that description box down below, you will find all those links there, as well as links to my social media pages, Facebook and Instagram, where I will have still shots of this layout. Thanks again for joining me. Until next time, bye-bye.